Good morning and welcome to the Automation Question of the Week. My name is Sean Tierney from Insights in Automation, and welcome back. I hope you've had a great week so far. It's Friday. Today is Friday, August 30th, 2024, big Labor Day weekend. Or is it Memorial Day? Memorial Day weekend coming up? I'm so out of it. In any case, I do want to thank, I had some 4 students in on this weekend on this week yesterday to teach them all about compact logics and control logics. So I want to thank those students for coming in. If you know anybody who needs to get some hands-on in-person training, my office right here, right with my studios, my learning center is right here on the 3rd floor of the Eagle Building in the central Berkshire County. And it's beautiful out here. We're about an hour away from Albany. And yeah, I'd love to have you guys come in and do some training with us. But with that said, let's go on to the question of the week. Yes, so I just spent a half an hour with level 2 members talking about questions that have come in and talking about everything that's going on behind the scenes here. And so I've changed the schedule around. I want to do this live stream right after that one for members, this free public one. And so if you're interested, I do some application stuff too, you know, how to solve applications and whatnot, as well as talk about some insider stuff. So that's level 1 is that gets you to, you know, the new shows, and the automation show is $2.50 a week. Level 2 is like $7 a week, so $10 and $25 a month. If you think this type of content is helpful. But the question I got this week in the opening slide that you saw when I first went live, I was doing some things behind the scenes, so sorry for that 30 seconds of delay, but that opening slide tells you how you can send in your questions. So feel free to send them in. I'll try to pick one every week to cover on this show. The question I got here is a question I've had a lot over the last year. And it's like, hey, I got an old Slick 100. I want to make sure I have a backup. I picked the used one up. And now how do I get that program out of the existing one into the other one? Specifically, I want to do it either with software or with the handheld. And so I'm like, look, I can't give you a lot of free help on this. We got to keep the lights on here. But it says, here's what I would do. First of all, the software used to be given out for free. I've offered people who buy me a cup of coffee to give them the copy I downloaded for free years ago. And I said, you know, you can use that software. I says, you also have to get the right cable. It's like, you're just not going to be able to use like a serial cable out of your desk drawer to get to it. But, you know, you're going to have the right cable for that. And I says, I thought it was pretty easy to use. I says, you can also use the handheld, right? The PT1. I says, and I send them a link to the book, which is still available on ab.com, to, you know, walk you through how to use that handheld terminal. That's how I learned in 1990. The guy I was working for, he says, you know, I'm busy. Here's a book. Here's a demo. Teach yourself how to program PLCs. And of course, being an electronics major, I had programmed microprocessors in college, so it was no big deal. But the book was just really well done, right? Sometimes you find these books and you're like, wow, this is really well done. And so I'm like, look, you could teach yourself how to do that. And a lot of these old SICK 100s, right? They have very short programs, like 5 rungs, right? That's not uncommon. So it's very easy to go by instruction and kind of draw out draw out the code and then put it into the new one, right? Hand by hand. Or you can buy the right cable. I know there's other people who make retrofit cables, you know, third-party cables for the SLIC 100, 150. And, you know, use the free software. Again, I don't know. I actually offered to give Rockwell, I had an old hard drive lying around. I said, hey, Rockwell, if the problem is you don't have enough hard drive space, here's a free hard drive. The files like will fit on like an old floppy from like the 80s, right? But I suspect they don't give it out because they don't want to support it. And who said you had to support it? Free, if you don't have to, you gave it, you never supported it when it was free anyways. Why would you support it now if it was free? I don't know. But you guys tell me what you think. You know where the comments are for this show and for all my shows, whether you're watching them on wherever we're going. We're live here on all these different platforms here, 6 different platforms. So please feel free to get in touch if you have any questions and submit them in. Maybe I'll cover them next week. But with that, that's the end of this week's question of the week. Again, I just did the half an hour Q&A for members. If you want to grab that, become a member. And of course, we had 2 new, this week we only had 1 new show, and we had an episode of the automation show as well if you're a level 1 member. with that, have a great weekend. It's a long weekend. I want to wish you all health and happiness. And until next time, my friends, peace.